Hey my loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be about how to level up and invest in yourself in 2020. I thought that this would be a great topic to talk about and tie into my weight loss journey because, as many of you know, I am in transition to lose weight, and if you are new to my channel and this is your first video, you can check out my last two videos that I uploaded about my weight loss journey, and I talk a little bit more about that in those videos. I cannot stress enough how important it is to put the energy inward instead of outward. As women, we tend to always focus on other people first and neglect ourselves and forget that we are just as important and we are a priority to ourselves, and it's important to make sure that we're keeping up with how we look, how we think, how we are living our day-to-day life, our finances. And if you're in a place right now where you're not necessarily happy with the way your life looks, then this video is perfect for you. This video is perfect for the woman who wants to just see change in a positive way. You have to change old habits in order for you to create new habits. There's no room for you to keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. You're gonna have to make a change and a sacrifice. The things that you're doing now that are not contributing to your better self and that are not taking you out of the situation that you're in right now, you need to look at your life and self-reflect and analyze. What is stopping me from doing better? It is a daily decision. Every day you wake up, you have to decide, I am going to do better than I did yesterday. So ladies, I am here to hold your hand through this and make sure that your level up journey and investing in yourself is 10 times easier. So stay tuned for my tips and tricks. Tip number 1 is changing your mindset. This is fundamental in your level up. Okay, you cannot have the same exact mentality trying to go to a different place. You have to change your mindset, and that's not always easy, but this is where the discipline comes in and the sacrifice and the focus, because really it is a mental thing, you guys. It is all mental. You need to believe in yourself. You have to be your first number one cheerleader, because nobody else is going to do that for you. I can tell you guys that right now, that unless you believe so for yourself, you can't expect other people to believe it for you. You need to think positively. You need to stop self-doubting yourself. Okay, because the minute you start doubting yourself, you allow room for those old habits and things that you may have done before to seep back in. Your mind is the gateway to your destiny. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this term, life and death is in the power of the tongue. You can only speak positive affirmations over yourself. Think positively about yourself, your life. It comes from within. Because if you only have a negative outlook, or you only have negative things to say about yourself, you're constantly self-doubting yourself. You're constantly making yourself feel lower than you actually are. No one else is doing that but you. Other people will try and project their insecurities onto you, but you can't allow anybody to deter you from what your goals are. You have to be strong-minded. So that's the first step, ladies, is change your mindset. Number 2, when it comes to leveling up, you're gonna have to set standards and boundaries. You have to stop allowing people to believe that they can treat you at their level and standard. So many times when we are in relationships with people, and I'm talking family, friends, co-workers, day-to-day people you may see, like, people are gonna treat you the way they think that they can treat you, and you have to make it clear that no, I'm not going to accept that treatment nor that behavior. So many times we accept this behavior from people we love or people in general because we're lacking self-esteem, we're lacking confidence. When you repetitively allow people into your space who are not respecting you and who are treating you as if you're not important, you're subconsciously telling yourself, this is what I deserve. You're telling people how to treat you by accepting that behavior. The real deal is that nobody can disrespect you or cross a boundary without your permission. A lot of your time is now going to be spent on yourself, okay? In order for you to level up, you're gonna have to put extra time and effort into making sure that you're good. And it's called putting yourself first. So maybe your friend may call you and want to hang out on a Friday night, but you know what? You know you got to go to the gym, and then afterwards you want to go sleep because tomorrow you got to be up early. Maybe you want to go volunteer or do something productive, and you can't go out. So you have to be able to say, no, not today. Or, no, I'm sorry, I can't because I have things I need to do. And I'm not gonna lie, because that's one thing that I had to overcome myself. Because your girl loves to have a good time, okay? I love to go out. I love to get pretty, have drinks with my friends. But the discipline that it takes to make sure that I'm staying on task with my not only weight loss journey, I'm putting every second that I have to myself into myself. Number 3, when it comes to your level up, is healing. I can't stress enough how freeing just getting rid of the emotional baggage you might be carrying from your childhood, okay, from your past relationship, from friends that maybe did you wrong. You have to let that go. Let that negative baggage go, because you are just holding yourself back and weighing yourself down. How can you level up when something is holding you back or down? It just doesn't work like that. That's something that I really had to like look within and say, okay, Naishe, what is it that you want for yourself? What is it that, where are you trying to go? What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish in this lifetime? And how are you going to get there? I had to do a lot of soul searching, but I had to also forgive. I had to forgive a lot of people. I had to say sorry to a lot of people as well that I may have hurt. I want to touch on forgiving in the healing process because you know, you may feel like there's someone in your life right now who did you wrong, or you know, there are people that have hurt you throughout your life. If you always live in this space of, oh, but she did this, he did this, he wronged me, she wronged me, how is that going to contribute to trying to level up and get to a better place? You have to be right internally with yourself. And holding on to grudges, holding on to resentment, holding on to anger, that takes more energy than letting it go. You have to do the healing work, because not all the time are we going to get the closure we want from situations. Closure is few and far between, especially in relationships with significant others. Men are not good for closure, but you have to give yourself closure. And once you're done healing, you need to step back and evaluate how you got to that place, how you got into that situation. There's no point in healing if you're just reverting back to where you were in the beginning. The point of healing is to redirect yourself into another space and into another frequency, that you would never find yourself in a bad situation. Whatever that situation was or is, you'll never find yourself there again. There's certain instances where things were out of your control. There was nothing that you could have done to prevent a situation from happening to you, but you cannot live in that. It's really about gaining better judgment to know a situation is not for you and that you have to dismiss yourself. Another reason why it's so important to heal in your level up process is because you gain knowledge. What were the patterns that you had before, the characteristics you were exhibiting that allowed you to end up in situations that were keeping you down? What was it? And I really strongly suggest you guys write it down, because once you see it on paper and you write out a list of what it is that was holding you back and holding you down, I'm telling you guys, I know some of you guys right now that are watching this probably just went through a heartbreak, or you know, you're going through one right now, or you maybe have a bad relationship with your parents, or your friends for some reason have just abandoned you. But honestly, everything happens for a reason, and everything has its season. Things won't always be this way, but you have to make the change. Only you can change you. You can't change the other person. So if you're trying to level up internally, you need to be right with you, and you need to decide, how am I going to move forward and do better for myself and never allow myself to be in this situation again. Tip number 4, you guys, and this one is a doozy because it is not going to be easy, and that is distancing yourself from the people around you that continuously perpetuate this narrative about who you are. There are going to be people who are around you who constantly want to remind you of that. If you're trying to level up, you don't need to be reminded about what was. You need to only focus on what is now and what will be. I had to reassess how it was affecting me to constantly be put back in this box of where I was years ago. The way I see it is, we may love our friends and our family, but not everyone is going to understand the process that you're trying to go through. And sometimes it really just requires a hard conversation, but sometimes they're just not going to get it. And that's okay. It's not your responsibility to get other people to understand your level up process, because it's for you. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks or what anybody has to say. If people continuously treat you in a way that you don't want to be treated, distance yourself. If people are constantly reminding you of who you were at once upon a time, distance yourself. If they're not moving with the times of the person you are now or the person you're trying to become, distance yourself. Distance yourself and make room for people who are going to get it. Make room for people who are going to be accepting of who you are today. Make room for people who are on the same path with you. Align yourself with people who are already where you want to be. Tip number 5 is envisioning the future. Envisioning yourself already at the end of your level up. And leveling up is a constant thing. It never really stops. But envision yourself at the point where you are your most happiest self if you just stick to your level up. If you just make the right decisions daily. You have to use a mental fast forward on what your life will look like 6 months from now, a year from now. That is going to keep you motivated during your level up. Think about the consequences, the ramifications of not leveling up. Think about that, okay? Because so many times in the moment, it's easy to just do what you're used to. It's easy to just go back to the place that you were in because that's what you know. And we as humans love familiarity. We love things that we're already used to, that we already know how it goes. But you got to really also think to yourself, well, I'm not happy here, and I say I'm not happy. So why go back to that? Think about what your life will look like if you just stick to it, if you just keep on doing you. Thank you guys so much for watching my video all the way to the end. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, please leave a comment below and let me know, and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Let your friends and family know about my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.